is Digivation Network.
Hello everyone, welcome to Digivation Network, Africa's leading ICT business, lifestyle and innovation program on television. I am Gideon Tubiloba and I'm standing in for your regular host, Byra Gabi. To be part of the show, please follow us on all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Digivation Network for exciting and informative videos and reports.
This is Digivation Network.
In this edition, we bring you a special report on the directive of the federal government for all social media platforms to be regulated. In this special report, you'll see an elaborate and balanced analysis from all sides. I suggest you don't miss it. Our top 5 segment for this week features the top 5 careers of the future, plus an exclusive with Aderemi Adejumo, a cloud computing expert who talks to us on the concept of cloud computing and why it should be embraced in totality in Nigeria. These and many more coming your way in this edition. But first, let's serve you with the trending issues that made news during the week, followed by Digitech Tips with Folawewo.
Hello, I am Bayero Agabi. Welcome you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is Digivation Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Lagos has surpassed Nairobi as the top African startup ecosystem in the Global Startup Ecosystem Index. The report states that Lagos climbed from 117 in last year's ranking to 122nd. Nigeria is considered to have one of the largest startup ecosystems in Africa, with a massive consumer market and more than 500 active startups. Lagos is in the global top 50 cities for e-commerce and retail technology, and in the global top 100 for transportation technology and education technology. The Global Startup Ecosystem Index is used by thousands of startup founders, startup ecosystem developers, corporations, and other stakeholders to support critical decisions about strategy, relocation, and investment in various locations. The Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Communications Commission, Umar Gamba Dambata, has inaugurated a committee to develop the information memorandum for the auction of 3.5 GHz spectrum band, which will be used for early deployment of 5G services in the country. Professor Dambata says the terms of reference would include the development of an award process to be used pursuant to which the grant of spectrum licensings may be made. Among the committee members include the Director, Spectrum Administration, NCC, Oluwatoyin Asaju, who will serve as committee chairman, and the Nigerian Communications Commission Executive Commissioner Technical Services, Ubale Masak, as auction advisor. Dambata expressed satisfaction with the current progress of 5G deployment process in Nigeria, adding that 5G service poses neither security nor health risk to users.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Tips. I am Folawewo. Now, most of us are lost or have had our food stolen at some point, and we all know how painful and frustrating it can be, especially the thought of getting a new one. But did you know you can find your phone if you get lost and prevent someone else from accessing it? Oh yes, you can, and that's exactly what I will be telling you today on Tech Tips. How to find your lost Android phone. Before we proceed, Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Digivation Network. Now, to find your lost Android device, the first thing you should do is go to your browser and type in android.com/find and sign into your Google account. If you have more than one phone, click the lost phone at the top of the screen. You will see your device location on the map. The lost device gets a notification. Using the Find Your Device menu on the left, you can lock your device so others won't be able to use it. You can play sound even if it's set to silent or vibrate. Or you can permanently delete all the information on your phone to prevent others getting access to your personal data. So if you ever lose your phone or have it stolen, now you know how to find it and even prevent others from having access to it. For more informative videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Digivation Network. Thanks for watching. I am Folawo.
That was a very informative one there from Folawewa. Up next is our special report for the week, and it's on the federal government's directive to regulate all social media platforms in Nigeria. Let's see this report to hear from all sides and have a better understanding on why this is needed and how it should be done. Here's the report.
The advent of the internet and new media characterized with social networking sites such as blogs, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp has revolutionized communication globally. The power of social media messages rests majorly on its ability to instantly and simultaneously reach a wide, diverse audience, possibly shaping their thinking and their way of life. While the public has over time become accustomed to the regulation of conventional media like the radio, television, and print establishments by government regulatory agencies, the idea of regulating social media, a space which many users consider to be the major avenue to air their unheeded views, has been at the forefront of global debate. In Nigeria, the recent standoff between the federal government and social media giant Twitter has made the issue of social media regulation even more exigent, and this topic is one that has generated a lot of mixed feelings in the minds of users globally. Tenyola Olushola, the past president of Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, speaks on the dynamics of regulating social media in Nigeria.
The reality is that we have these very large tech companies that have followership that exceeds 1 billion in certain cases of users spread around the world. And for Nigeria, we don't have our own version. So I think we're rather limited, and that's where I agree with my other speakers. We're rather limited. I think the government is rather limited, and they'll find out that actually they don't have much power to wield. And I don't say that they shouldn't create regulation, they shouldn't create laws. They should, but they need to do it in conjunction with the big techs. That's the reality, unless government wants to build its own, like someone made reference to China. So China has its own versions.
Reacting to the government's demand that all over-the-top service providers should be licensed and pay tax to operate in the country, Tenyola Olushola said it isn't mandatory for the OTTs to register in Nigeria and called for more engagement from the government with the OTTs.
Without these companies being present and registered with CAC, and by the way, we do have some of these OTT players registered in Nigeria, then it's not mandatory for them to register in Nigeria. A company can actually do their own decisions and decide whether they should be present physically in Nigeria. So I guess the argument now that government is looking for is that these companies don't pay tax, they don't pay, or they don't have presence in Nigeria. You have to create that enabling environment first for them to come. It's not by force. And I think government has a lot to do there, a lot of work still to do. And then most important, you need to engage. You need to engage with these global giants because they have some community rules, they have governance, and they obviously are present in not only in Nigeria, but in many other countries virtually though. And that's the challenge for government. We have regulation and laws that still speaks to the analog age, digital age. And these companies push that envelope. And I think that government needs to catch up very quickly. Otherwise, we as Nigerians will suffer because we'll be left behind.
Seasoned media practitioner Okon Ahihe, also speaking on the registration of the OTTs, condemned the idea of licensing the social media platforms with the National Broadcasting Commission.
The licensing of the social media practitioners or the by the National Broadcasting Commission, to me, looks very far-fetched. It's obtuse, and it does not take into consideration the modern reality on ground. One, because we may be excited about situations, we may be angry about situations. It's not our excitement, it's not our anger. It's what the books are saying, and the books are pretty clear. The law setting up the National Broadcasting Commission does not permit it to register any OTT or to license any OTT. And the law also setting up the Nigerian Communications Commission, the Communications Act, also doesn't empower it to license OTT. So what we have, all that the government has to do is to look for a way of managing the process.
People who have called for social media to be regulated have pointed at countries like China, United Arab Emirates, Australia, European Union as why and how social media can be regulated, but Okon Ahihe faults the ground for such comparison.
But for instance, if we want to compare, now this is what these guys are doing. This is what they are doing in China. This is what they are doing in Dubai and most of these other places. I like to ask myself, what China makes available for its citizens, do we make it available for our citizens? What they make available for their citizens in Dubai, do we make them available for our citizens? If you give your citizens certain level of satisfaction, they won't mind if you take some actions. But the point is that every guy is struggling for himself. Every guy is struggling for herself in Nigeria, trying to create opportunities in an environment that is a very, very difficult one. What government needs to do is to look at why things are not working. For instance, we are talking about OTT. I'm afraid that the telecommunications operators are dying. And without their platform, we don't have any OTT. I don't know whether you've been making calls in the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks and how very, very difficult it is to make a call right now.
To many, social media regulation is not the problem, but the assurance that it will be done with consideration to global standards and to negate the assumption of government witch hunting, which to many, it's still a possibility, not forgetting the social, political, and economic benefits social media platforms present.
This is Digivation Network.
Thanks for staying with us. That was our special report for this week on the FG's directive to regulate all social media platforms in Nigeria. I'm sure that report has exposed you to the social media regulation in totality. If you have just joined us, you're still watching Digivation Network. Do check us out on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Digivation Network for more reports.
This is AIT Infotech Network, reaching you from Freetown in Sierra Leone,
Accra, the Ghanaian capital, Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Johannesburg in South Africa,
we are in Cairo in Egypt,
Tunis, the Tunisian capital,
Cape Town in South Africa,
reaching you from Dubai, Hanover in Germany,
live from Chicago, Las Vegas in the United States of America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, we are in Beijing, China,
in London, England. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Coming up next is Adaze Okeya-Ine as she brings you the top 5s, and this week we look at the top 5 careers of the future. Enjoy this.
Thanks, Toby. Hello, welcome to the Top 5s. My name is Adaze Okeya-Ine. If this is your first time watching the show, please subscribe to www.youtube.com/Digivation Network. With the world constantly evolving, it is imperative that we prepare for not only what the future of work would be, but for the jobs themselves. For the past decade, a perpetual technology revolution has been on the rise and so far shows no sign of slowing down. While we bask in the excitement of current innovations and discoveries, we must project and prepare for the world to come. Let's dive into the top 5 careers of the future. At the 5th spot is the user experience design. User experience design, commonly called UX, is the process of enhancing user satisfaction by improving the usability, accessibility, and pleasure provided in the interaction between the user and the product. User experience design combines aspects of psychology, business, market research, design, and technology. It is a fundamental area in education, banking, and other digital services. Attending a university or obtaining a formal degree is not compulsory to be a user experience designer, but it is essential. You require specific soft, industry, and crossover skills. As the technology market continues to evolve, UX designers are more crucial than ever. Our number 4 top career of the future is software development. Ever wondered who creates those amazing games that keep you glued to your phones? Software developers are the creative, brainstorming masterminds behind computer programs of all sorts. Like most tech careers, you don't require a formal degree to become a software developer. However, you do have to learn coding and have experience in specific programming skills. Some software developers usually have a bachelor's degree in computer science and strong computer programming skills. Top technical skills required for this career include Oracle, Python, and Java. With a need for new applications on smartphones and tablets, it will doubtless trigger a corresponding increase in the demand for applications software developers. Employment of software developers is projected to grow 22% over the next 10 years, much faster than the average for all occupations. At number 3 is nursing. Nursing is one of the most famous careers in the world. Nurses form an integral part of the workforce of any nation. Typically known as caregivers of the healthcare system, nursing is majorly influenced by compassion and the need to help people. In times past, nursing was considered a woman's career, but over the years it has experienced a shift, with more men choosing to venture into this career path. There has never been a better time to pursue a career in nursing. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought with it a high demand for nurses all over the world. Nursing requires a university or nursing school degree. A career in nursing provides job security, quality benefits, and a competitive salary. Present indications suggest with the rise of technological innovations in a healthcare system, nurses will continue to be in high demand. Robotics engineering is our number 2 top 5 careers of the future. Engineering is a competitive field and one that offers a lucrative package, but more importantly, opportunities to create and build solutions to everyday problems that trouble society. Robotics engineering is a field of engineering which centers on building machines that replicate human actions. Robotics engineering requires a degree in engineering discipline, deep knowledge of flexible automation, and computer systems. Research from the Fortune Business Insights revealed that, I quote, the global service robots market size was $12.58 billion in 2019 and is projected to reach $41.49 billion by 2027, exhibiting a CAGR of 15.9% during the forecast period. Of course, with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, a huge demand for robots has been seen in various fields, especially in the medical field. It goes without saying that an IT career will take the first spot in our top 5 careers of the future. Cybersecurity is fast becoming a desired and diverse growing field. Cybersecurity is an exciting, lucrative, and in-demand field concerned with protecting valuable and sensitive information from cyber attacks by hackers and other malicious actors. The global cybersecurity services market is expected to reach a $192.70 billion by 2028, registering a CAGR of 10.2% over the forecast period, according to a new report by the Grandview Research Incorporated. To become a cybersecurity expert, you are expected to have a bachelor degree or take certain technical certifications to boost your career. With the increase in cyber-based crimes, governments and organizations are on the lookout for skilled professionals and strategies to counter cyber attacks and keep their data safe. And that draws the curtain on the top 5 segment today. Do join us again next week. I am Adaze Okiaine. Thank you for watching. Back to Toby.
Thanks for staying with us. That was the top 5 segment, which featured the top 5 careers of the future. Today on Question Mark, we have Aderemi Adejumo, a cloud computing expert online, who will share his thoughts on the concept of cloud hosting. Welcome to the show, Aderemi Adejumo.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Okay, the concept of cloud computing still remains difficult for some to grab. Can you break it down what cloud computing is really?
Yes, you're quite right. Cloud computing is basically giving people servers, but not in their premise, but in a data center. And also they pay for it as an OPEX, not as a CAPEX. So what I mean by that is that the business normally will buy a server, and that server will be amortized over 5 years. The equivalent of that can be got from us on a monthly basis.
Can you tell us the comparative advantages of cloud hosting as opposed to having on-premise software for data storage?
Okay, the advantages are, as I've mentioned already, the cost. So you're paying as you go along rather than paying CAPEX, which you have for on-premise. Second advantage is the associated cost. What I mean by that is that you've got to provide your own power, your own cooling, your own network, your own connectivity on-premise. In the cloud, all that is provided for you. So you're just paying one fee for all those functions in there. So you benefit from an economy of scale in that, as opposed to what you have as on-premise.
There is the issue of cybersecurity. There is this fear that moving services to the cloud, you are handing over your data and information and may be exposed to security breach. Is this a genuine concern?
Cybersecurity is a huge concern. But you see, when you look at cybersecurity, the biggest percentage of cybersecurity is the staff within. It's not without. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there's processes and procedures you've got to follow to ensure that you minimize the risk in there. But the risk is always there. I think I would be remiss if I said to you that there's no risk. There is a risk. But what we do is by being vigilant, by following very strict processes, by isolating what people do, so no one person has control of the whole platform. You minimize the ability for there to be an intrusion, or as you have ransomware, to create damage or to create some sort of hostage of the data.
Globally, cloud hosting represents a paradigm shift in data storage. Looking at Nigeria, what would you say is the prospects of local cloud computing?
I believe that we are what I call a green field. As opposed to a developed country, we are building from the ground up. We're not just managing what exists. So with that, it's far more, for me, I feel it's far more exciting. I feel there's a lot of opportunity and gives us a chance to tailor the products to our environment and to our culture and to our way of working. So I think there's a lot of excitement in there and there's a lot of growth that we can do.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aderemi Adejomo, for your time.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
All right. That's all we can take on the show for this week. You can contact us on www.youtube.com/Digivation Network and our social media platforms displayed on your screens. On behalf of your regular anchor, Baira Gabi, thank you for watching. I am Gideon Tobiloba. Join us again next week for another interesting package. Peace.